Alright, I have 3 piles. So pick 1, 2, or 3. I'm not going to show you objects or anything. Just, pause if you need to take a moment. Just feel into each one and see which one or more has a message for you. General messages. We are going to be looking into the subconscious of the issues or whatever's happening, I guess. May not be issues, But I kind of have since I already dealt out a bunch of the cards, I kind of have a feeling that they all have issues. But all right, let's get started with pick 1. Reconciliation. Pineapple. Conciliation. All right, let's see what this is. For this card, I asked, what's in the subconscious regarding this? What's in the subconscious regarding this? Okay. Parasites or third wheel. Victim mentality, almost free, 4D. Okay. There's been a lot of thoughts and a lot of analysis about a reconciliation, about reconciling something within the self. And it's something where there's something in the equation that feels like a burden, that feels like it's a taxation on the system, this parasite energy. And that feels like it's like victimizing or like controlling. Like, let's see what else. What is the situation? Exit the situation. Burdens carried silently. All right. Hold on, I gotta feel into this. Like, is this talking about someone's trying to get back together? Someone's trying to. Okay, I think there was a severing of a relationship, and I think one of the parties is trying to reestablish the relationship or, repair or something. Let's see. Spend more time outdoors. Take your time making this decision. These are the Archangel Michael cards. You're learning something here, okay? Memento mori. There might not be a someday. Your greatest work is your legendary legacy. A fiery climax approaches. I said, what's the crux of the thing? Bull. Do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. All right. Has there been like a parting of the ways and like there's some sort of blockage to coming back together, but it has never been spoken about, has never been discussed? Caterpillar. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming. When we've got a third wheel here, if this is talking about some sort of relationship, three's company. Three's too many for... Is there a secret? Something. You feel something is lacking in your life. Perhaps love, money, or goals. Opportunity or windfall. Okay, there is a decision to be made. Something needs to be reconciled. You may have to leave one situation to reconcile another. There is a lot of feeling like a victim around the situation, so look at the places within you that feel harmed, that feel like it's not fair, and like be with those parts of yourself. Know that you are almost free, like just a little bit of working through this from a different mentality, different perspective will help. Like detach from it for a while if it's like too much. And know that, don't make a decision until you're clear. And if you need to clear your head, maybe go outside and don't think about it for a while. Take a little walk in the woods. It's indicating that there will be a change. Like something is going to give, and it is going to be fortunate for you. And it's saying, yeah, it might not be like downstream, like if there's a challenge, sometimes, well, usually always through is the way. Go through the challenge, So the decision you're making is what challenge is worth going through. Yeah. What challenge in this is worth going through? And then go through it. So that's something for you to decide and get clarity on. And it's suggesting that you have what it takes to do so. You have been, carrying this by yourself silently. You haven't talked about it or something like that. It's not saying you necessarily need to. It's just saying you're the one who needs clarity here. And there's a mentality around the whole situation that is, I think, making it hard to see clearly. Right? There's something clouding the view. But I do think you feel like something is in the way or something is taxing you. And you can't talk about it. You don't maybe see how to let go of that. But it is suggesting that there is something to let go of. In order to reconcile with your heart, I heard. So maybe like you picked up a commitment along the way and now it's like been a burden and you're like not sure what to do with it now, because you know what, I'm flashing to this one time where my brother told me that like how he gets things done is like when he makes a decision, he just never changes his mind. He goes for it no matter what. And I'm like, well, what if some information comes to light that would make you change your mind? He's like, no. When I make up my mind, I just go for that. And it's like that. I feel like it's like that. It's like new information came in and maybe you're used to like just, going for your goal and like sticking to your commitments and making the decision stick. But I think, it's saying like there's more clarity that you could have about this. Like, is there a bigger picture view? Is there another way to see things? And now I'm flashing to this thing that I said in a recent reading where I was like saying like commitments made in unfair relating dynamics are null and void. Like if everything wasn't on the up and up when we agreed to things, like that's a void contract. We don't want to stay committed to things that have hidden ways that they undermine us, because everything's got to be done in the win-win-win ultimately. And that means I win, you win, we all win. And then it's like, make sure you're not enabling people. Like, make sure you're not sacrificing yourself. Make sure that you're in the equation of the win-win-win. And, it might be hard to say, oh, well, how do I know what's a win for that person? You sometimes you don't, but you know what a win is for you. It's what your heart says, so do that. A win for you is automatically a win for everyone. Unless you're acting in some sort of selfish way that was not heart-driven. Then you can lie to yourself. And that's what that stubborn mindset can do when you say, okay, this is the decision I made, I'm sticking to it no matter what. All right. So just some things to consider and reflect on. Only take what is relevant to you and, see how you feel about it ultimately. We're going to move on to pick number 2. Okay, pick number 2. I'm just shuffling a couple of these cards back in. Caterpillar. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming. Interesting, because I had that card in the last pile, even though I just shuffled it in. Dark woman. Dealings or a relationship with a woman with a dark complexion or hair. Pineapple. Reconciliation. I had that in the pick 1 also. You may have been, drawn to more than one pile, so. Purse. Pay attention to your finances. Money or property through an inheritance. Winning or windfall. So if there are like loose ends for you to pay attention to, like you could benefit greatly from doing so. So make sure you do that. I don't know what that means or whatever, but the books need to be reconciled. Yeah, you're about to go through a big change and maybe you already feel it. Let's see what else. What's in the subconscious of this? A missed opportunity. Property, real estate. Oh my gosh, that's the second time that came out in a different deck of cards. There's something about property and real estate, inheritance. You really do need to look at, make sure wills are in order, having that kind of conversation with loved ones might be difficult, but like if you're in a position where you can do so, make sure the affairs are in order for everybody. Care and healing. Stop, break the cycle. Portal of change. Archangel Michael has some things to say here too. Your home is protected by angels. Have a sense of humor about the situation, and your inner guidance is real and trustworthy. Maybe you do need to talk about a will for your parents or something like that, and it's like use humor. But like you kind of have a feeling about this anyway, I feel like, is what this is saying. This is so weird. Prosperity lies ahead. See through the perfectly purple lens of your galactic destiny. Family wishes come true. I'd say definitely play the lottery. Definitely make sure affairs are in order. Definitely look into inheritances if someone has passed on. Involvement with the law. Yeah, you may have to go through some sort of court proceedings to get things right with the estate or something. Maybe there's some sort of real estate deal that needs to go in front of a judge so that it can be rectified. Reconciled. We got reconciliation, right? Yeah. It's like a bump in the road that just needs to be dealt with, but the outcome will be good, it says. Position of authority. Throne. Yeah, know your worth. Know that it's just like some red tape or something in order to get this to go where it's supposed to. You may have had an opportunity to do it before, but you missed it, so now it's time. Alright, so just take what resonates. Pick 2. It was actually a much different message from pick 1, but you still could have come from pick 1. And that's your message. We're going to move on. Okay, pick 3. I'm just shuffling in some cards here. Lion. Time to act. Let's see what the subconscious stuff is on this. Intelligence in reverse and intuition in reverse. And other people's money upright. Unconditional love. Unrequited love. Holy shit. Both of those came out. I don't know if you can see that says unconditional love, unrequited love. So these aren't exactly opposites though. This is interesting. Okay. A personal issue reaches resolution. Take time to breathe out. To be enlightened, lighten up. Go forward fearlessly. And it's so weird. Like, all right. It's something about masculine and feminine energies. Something about heart versus mind. Something. A distant friend is thinking of you. Tulip, great passion. I have tulips right here, see? These tulips were about dead. Like, the water, I don't know, they just kept drinking so much water so fast I couldn't even keep up with it. And then, like, after, like, 2 days of reviving them, like, the third time that they ran out of water in that jar, I just, like, left them for a day because I was, like, going through this thing and I couldn't tend to them. And I went back to them 2 days later and put water in the jar and they revived. Tulips are amazing. Look how resilient those tulips are. Okay, I'll have this other bouquet as well. And I've got this one. And there's more over here. I don't know if you'll be able to see those ones. Oh yeah, right up there. Let's see about this. Flowers might be relevant here. Boat. Money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall. That was in the last reading too. I swear I have shuffled these. They're like in a pile and I just like tucked them all under and moved them around. So it's interesting that the same cards are coming out. Out of 200 cards, by the way. Use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Okay, it's time for you to do something, right? And there's passion that you can follow. But sometimes I think that's burned you when you've followed your passion, right? And this is saying like, well, you do have access to intelligence and intuition as well. You're just kind of clouded by your passion right now. So that's okay, right? Time to breathe out. So, right, like take that moment to breathe out before you go forward and take the action. But then go. I feel like, hold on. I'm drinking some ginger beer. It's non-alcoholic. It's just like ginger ale, but really strong. Extra, extra ginger. And it's got no high fructose corn syrup. Love it. Family wishes come true. This is crazy. This card is in pile 1. Fear, worries, intense situations. Oh, if it wasn't in pile 1 on this is my second time reading this, doing this reading, recording this, so it might not have been in this one. A short journey. So you're kind of worried about something, right? And it feels tense, and it feels like, can I trust myself? Can I do this? But this is kind of saying like, yeah, you can. Whatever it is that you're contemplating, you can do it. People are holding space for you. They know that you're doing this difficult thing. Those that care about you. Like in the angelic realm, I guess. It's something to do with other people's money. I'm just like looking at my decks, wondering if there's anything else I should be pulling. I'm gonna put these ones back in the bag and then mix them up a little bit that way. Because I do want to get a couple more out of this deck. Threw that one on the floor, but that was one that I already got, so. Almost done, just still picking them up. There's 200 cards in this little deck, so. I just saw February. It's February now, isn't it? Yeah. So this is like a now thing, right? Alright. Valley. Deep personal strength and peace that assure success, right? That's like breathe out. Breathe out all the stress and worry and wonder if you can trust yourself. feather, someone you know is undependable and insincere. Interesting. So it's not saying like talk about this with somebody, because the person you'd probably talk about it with might not give you the best advice. Someone is leaving your life. Yeah. It's just break the cycle. Maybe this is a person that you keep letting in and out of your life. Maybe there's their money is involved or something like that. All right, so you got a lot of stuff going on, kind of, pile 3. And there is something you're meant to do, but maybe because this person is in your life, maybe like there's this hesitance on trusting yourself because you let that person in your life. You can't trust that person, so like how can you trust what you're going to do now? Kind of thing. Now we've got March. Pay attention to your finances and coins. Money will be coming to you. This could be one of those deals where you've got to like clear out people that aren't good for you before you can get good results. Take care. Enemies are working against you. I kind of hate that card because it sounds so like ominous. March again. Triumph over troubles and obstacles. Yeah. So listen. Just because you let a fox into the henhouse, don't let it derail you. Like, you still can trust yourself. You still can move towards what you know you need to. And if these are the kind of changes that are going on in your life, it's like trying to give you some reassurance. Like, hey, on the other side of this, there's some good stuff. But, like, there are some difficult things to go through first. Like, look at the reasons why you'd have someone in your life who was working against you. Like, where do you sabotage yourself, and where are you programmed to do so? And if you're not able to trust your own decisions, like, that's a valid thing, right? Like, I've gone through that as well, like, where I was like, oh gosh, how can I ever trust myself to make another decision again when I've fucked this up so bad? But, trial and error is a valid way to learn. And taking risks isn't for the weak. Getting back up again, that's something someone who's strong does. And when you master something, you're going to have to fail. Like, you don't master something by just like trying once and getting it right on the first try. That is not how mastery is built. So we've got to make it okay for us to go the other route, And even if it's knowing who to trust and who to have in our lives, who to build relationships with, and how to navigate our own desires and impulses and intuition and intelligence and passion and heart, Keep trialing and erroring your way through, because that's what you're told you can do right now. Whatever it is, like, if it's a challenge, if it's hard, like, you can handle it. You know that you can handle hard things. You've handled hard things before. The more you handle hard things, the easier it is to handle hard things. Yeah, it's inconvenient sometimes, and it's disappointing when we don't have things turn out the way we expected. But this is one of the reasons why the new relating paradigm doesn't have expectations of other people and doesn't have attachment to the outcome. an outcome that you don't have control over, right? Like, I don't mean when you're like setting a goal and going to reach it that you don't try because you think the outcome should just be there. I'm not saying like that. I just mean like when, when you're like starting up a new business and you feel like it's a great inspired idea and you hold space for it to work out, but you know that whatever happens, you've got your own back. Like, you're not just going to give up and fall off the face of the earth if there's instead a lesson to be learned through it. Like, you're not so attached to the outcome on it making or breaking you, and you're not so attached to the outcome on feeling like you're worthwhile or that what you've done is worthwhile. So that's what I mean by not being attached to an outcome in those kind of cases. So whatever it is that you have to take action on, just go with it knowing that you're going to be okay, that it's an experience that you're about to have, and that having the experience is the thing that you're doing. Yeah, it can be very useful to know your intention. So just know it before you go. You can have a preference, just know what it is. But know that you're okay either way, right? It's like dancing lightly on I want to say like the Tao. No. Okay, that's all. Just information to reflect on. Take what's useful.